Hi everybody, welcome back to Small Caliber Arms Review. I'm Richard, and today I got another little cardboard box here from Taurus. This one is the Taurus PT-22. It is a little bitty handgun. It's a subcompact with a 2.8-inch barrel on it. It weighs 11 ounces, and it's kind of a neat, innovative gun, and maybe kind of a knockoff of the Beretta Bobcat, I think it is. There's a little lever right here on the side, and it's a tip-up design, so we'll take a little bit closer look at it and see why it's innovative and why it does that. Okay, the Taurus PT-22, it's a polymer frame with a stainless slide on it and stainless barrel on there. And it's really kind of neat because it's made for people who don't have the hand strength to be able to rack the slide on there. And I'm telling you right now, it's got good serrations on there, but it is a very difficult gun to slide the rack the slide on. It is a lot of pressure on there. And if you'll notice, while I got this open, there's no recoil spring or guide rod down there underneath the barrel. You flip the barrel up and there's nothing in there, no spring. It's because this one's made a little bit different and actually has the recoil spring down here in the grip. Now to take this thing apart, all you do is pull it back a little bit, let it come forward, and you can pull the slide right off. And there's a little pin right there and one on this side that sticks up just a little bit. And what that does is that engages your slide right there. So you've got actually kind of like forks there that pull and push it back. That's your recoil spring in there. The design, the reason for a design like this is a lot of times people don't have the hand strength to be able to get that grip and pull it back. So what you do with this is once you've loaded your magazine, it's an 8-round magazine, so it's 8 plus 1. 8 in here, 1 in the chamber. What you're going to do is load your magazine up, go ahead and put it in, and instead of racking the slide to chamber around, all you do is take this little thumb lever here, tip that barrel up, and you can drop your round right in there. And this is a double action only, so when you pull the trigger, it's going to go ahead and fire. Now when you do that, it's going to go ahead, the charge will go ahead and activate the slide. It'll eject that round and chamber another one in there. Now this is kind of a neat gun. You see it slung it out when I did that, but there is no extractor in here. There is nothing there to pull that round out of there. This relies on spent gases, or the remaining gases that push that slide back. It relies on those blowing that shell out of there when it's in the down position. Now the barrel doesn't tip up when you do that, but when it fires and it pushes back like that, your round is going to be ejected out of there and it'll chamber another one when it goes in there. Now being a rim fire, I put the snap cap in there because you shouldn't dry fire rim fires at any time. It'll cause damage eventually. It is a spurless trigger on there, or spurless hammer on there, so there's nothing, you can't do a single action with it. You got a little manual safety right here on the side of it. It takes a little bit of effort to engage that safety. Your mag release is right there by the trigger guard. Now it doesn't have any pressure to really kick that mag out, so you're going to have to strip it out of there. It only comes with one magazine in the box. It does come with a little key, and it comes with a little Allen wrench. Now the key, if I remember correctly, is right there on the back. That is a safety, so you can lock this thing out if you're going to store it. The Allen wrench, I'm not really sure. I didn't really see anything on here that required an Allen wrench, but they included one in there. We're going to go ahead and take this thing and get it out on the range and see how it does. Now I've already had it out there and been shooting with it a little bit, and I did have a few issues with failure to feeds, and you'll notice the feed ramp on there. It's not glossy, not a mirror polish job on it, but it's pretty good polish job, but that's a very steep feed ramp. And one of the things I did notice is that, we'll put the dummy round in there, when this thing is in there and that slide is pulled back, you got to do it with the barrel down. That's what holds the slide on there. Again, it's a very difficult, it's even worse when you got the safety on, but it's a very difficult slide to pull back. If you look at that round in there right there, that is pretty much pointed right at the barrel, so that feed ramp is just about useless. And went ahead and chambered the dummy round in there. Now I have heard people say, I have not experienced it myself, but occasionally it will slam fire around in there. So I would suggest not practicing your slide racking with this thing indoors. I would only do it in a safe area. And we're going to go ahead and get it out on the range now and give it a few tries. All right, it is a beautiful sunny summer day in here in Ohio, and I got the Taurus PT-22 out here on the range. It has an empty magazine in it. I'm going to try these 4 different ammos I've got here. Of course, I already know about the Remington Thunderbolt 22s, bulk pack, good reliable bulk ammo, 40 grains. They are 1255 feet per second. And then I got a little bit of this is Federal 22 caliber long rifle, 40 grain, solid round nose. They're clocking in at 1240 feet per second. And then I got 2 new ammos here. This is Winchester Silver Tip. This is a personal defense 22 ammo. These are a segmented hollow point is what they're saying these are. 50 rounds in a box. They're 37 grain. They're plated, and they clock in somewhere around the 1,060 feet per second. Now you're thinking, well, that's a little less velocity than the others. It's 1,060 out of like a 4-inch barrel, I think it is. Most of these, the ratings are out of a 16-inch barrel or maybe even a 24-inch barrel. And then I've got some of the Federal Punch 22s. Same thing. These are new. These are a personal defense 22 caliber. Now these are they're a plated, well, you can see them right here. They're a nickel case, and they are a flat point. They're not hollow points. And I did watch a couple test videos on those, and they seem to do pretty well. Good penetration, but the same thing. These are only clocking in at 1,070 feet per second, and I believe that's out of a, this is velocity achieved through a 2-inch barrel. So that's pretty impressive for such a short barrel. But we're going to start out with just the Remington Thunderbolts first, and then we'll move over to the Federal bulk ammo, and then we'll go to the Winchester and the Punch 22s. I've shot a few of the Winchester Silver Tips already. I have not shot any of the Punch 22s, but we're going to get this magazine loaded up, and it's just like every other magazine, only it's an 8-rounder. They're really, you can get your thumbnail maybe on the roller that goes through the follower there, and it'll help you pull it down. But put them in and make sure they are seated in there properly. Put all 8 rounds in it, and then you're going to take that 9th round. Usually when someone says it's a you know, 15 plus 1, 10 plus 1, whatever, I usually don't do the plus 1 because it's a little more difficult. You either put your magazine in there, strip one off it, pull your magazine back out, and then put another round in the top of the magazine. This one's a little bit different. You don't have to do that. So I've got my 8 rounds in there, and go ahead and flip your follower a couple times. Make sure that round is seated in there right and they're ready to go. And then you put your magazine in the gun. Make sure it's all the way in there. Go ahead and tip your barrel up, because we're not going to rack the slide on this thing. We're just going to take that 9th round and drop it right down in there. Close the barrel. Now this is double action only, so when you pull that trigger, it's a long, heavy, hard trigger pull, and that's just the way they're designed because they're double action only, and that is a safety feature. There is a manual safety on the side. We'll go ahead and set that. I've got one of these little National Rifle Association, this is a 50-yard small bore rifle target. I've got it up there at the 7-yard spot, and we're going to give it a few shots for accuracy and see how reliable it is. All right, I don't have to rack the slide. The chamber is loaded with 1 round, 8 rounds in the magazine. I pulled the trigger, it's ready to go. And I had reliability issues, the failure to feed issues with this thing before. So we'll give it a try and see how it does. Take the safety off. All right, there is no last round hold open on this gun because you just don't need to do that with this anyways, and that would add more to the mechanics of it. So let's go take a look at that target real quick. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. all right there, low and to the left. That seems to be a theme with me. That's probably me doing that, but pretty consistent anyways. So, you know, it's if this was a silhouette target, I would definitely be in the scoring zone there. But I didn't have any issues with it, and that was with the Federal, or the Remington Thunderbolts. So let's go ahead and try the Federals in it next and see how they do. All right, at some point after buying this gun, I did a little bit of research, and I read somewhere, and I can't remember where it was, but it said not to use ultra high or super high velocity ammo in there. No, probably no mini mags or anything. But it said to use standard or high velocity ammo in it, and that's what the Thunderbolts are. And these Federals are also, I guess they're going to be considered standard velocity anyways. And maybe the issues I had with it before were with the Winchester Silver Tips, and that may be why I had so many reliability issues with it. Again, once you got it ready, you got your magazine loaded up and in there, there's the little lever on the side. Go ahead and tip that forward, drop your first round down in there, close it. Now you can push down. I found it a little easier if you give that little thumb lever an assist there, and it keeps you from having to force it down there. But anyways, let's go ahead and do 9 rounds of the Federal and see how they do. All right, let's see what happened here. We're going to go ahead and tip the barrel up. There's nothing in it, so it did not feed or strip a round off the top there. And you'll notice that round is kind of pointed downward in there a little bit. It's not tipped up like the first one was anyways, or the second one. Yeah, it seems like it could be a magazine issue if you ask me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and rack the slide on this one. It's difficult to do, that's for sure. Let it fall. I didn't get any slam fire there, but let's try this. Could have been a bad primer in that one. All right, that should be it. We'll go ahead and tip the barrel up. It is cleared. Take the magazine out, no more in the magazine. So yeah, I had one failure to feed, and I had one that the second attempt, the second strike on it did set the round off. Let's go ahead and put some of the Winchester Silver Tips in there next. All right, I've got my 8 rounds in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. Go ahead and close it. And we're just going to do these as rapid as I can. Hopefully there'll be no misfeeds, but I suspect with a little lower velocity, maybe that could be an issue. I'm not sure. Okay, it did not feed one, and that round landed right on top of my head. Okay, let's see if we can see. It looks like it's pointed up properly anyways. It just didn't feed that one. And it felt like a little delay when that closed. All right, that cleared all of those. It's the second round there seemed like it's where the issue was. It is clear. This gun does have a magazine disconnect on it. So the trigger will pull back a little bit, but it will not fire. So if you have one in the chamber, no magazine in it, you don't have to worry about that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and load up the, these are the Federal Punch 22s. Pretty cool looking round. I'm told they're a nickel case. I don't think they're aluminum. Nice and shiny. So if you do decide to carry a 22 as personal defense, I would look into the proper ammo. Some of that bulk ammo is probably, it's going to hurt if it hits somebody, that's for sure. And it could be very deadly. All right, there's my 8 rounds in there. Same thing, tip the barrel up, drop one in it, and we'll give these a try. That one failed to eject. There's no extract to it, that's for sure. Seems like that case may have swelled just a little bit. Let's try again. I might have to rack the slide. A little stovepipe there. See if it picked one up the next one. It did not. And it is cleared. It seems to me, even though those rounds are made for personal defense, this gun is not made for those rounds. Those rounds are both new for this year as far as I know, but it seems like the Thunderbolts did just fine. Let's put 9 more of those in there and see how it does. All right, that could be the whole issue with this thing. The gun has been around for a while. Standard velocity for a while. The Federal Punch 22s and the Winchester Silver Tips have not been around that long, and it may be that there's a compatibility issue with these rounds in this firearm. We'll go ahead and load the PT-22. 8 more rounds, put 1 in the barrel, and just rapid fire this thing and see if it'll work like it's supposed to. It handled those pretty good. I may have not let the trigger all the way out on that one, but all 9 of them fired. No failure to feeds, no failure to eject. There is no extract. All right, we're going to do 9 more rounds of the Remington Thunderbolts. 8 in the mag, 1 in the barrel. Seemed to do just fine. I think in my previous attempt at making a video with this gun, I believe that was my issue. The magazine, or the ammo that I was using, both the Punch 22 and the Winchester Silver Tip, are just not optimized for this handgun. Or this gun is not made for those rounds. All right, I only had 8 rounds of the Thunderbolts left. I'm going to touch it off with one of the Federal standard velocity ones at the steel target again. I don't think I hit it one time. It looked to me like they were hitting just a little bit to the left. But it's not a long distance gun. This is a get off me gun, an up close and personal gun. This is, you know, it's personal defense at a close range. It did just fine at the 7-yard target there. 15, you know, I mean, well, I guess I can't hit a silhouette target with it, but it seems to be like it's a pretty good gun, as long as you use the right ammo. All right, I did not use a whole 500 round box of the Remington Thunderbolts, but I used quite a few of them anyways, and it just doesn't seem to want to work reliably with the personal defense ammo, but the standard velocity stuff and even your bulk high velocity stuff, it seemed to work just fine. It's a neat little gun. Of course, takedown is a piece of cake. Once you tip your barrel up, just pull that back, pull the front of it up just a little bit, pull your slide off. Easy one to clean up. The barrel, you don't even have to disassemble it to clean your barrel out. I did notice that it gets a little bit of powder residue built up in there, because when I would put that first round in there a couple times, you could feel a little bit of gunk in there anyways. Putting it back together, just started at the back there, push it down. Once you've got it in there, close your barrel. You can rack the slide. It's a difficult one to do, that's for sure. Oh, you can't operate the slide with the magazine out. So, There we go. It is a difficult slide to manipulate by hand, but that's the whole reason for the tip-up barrel like that, is so people with weaker hands or people that just don't have the grip strength or whatever can still use the semi-auto without having to rack that slide on there. Once you put that first round in there, that sets your charge off, and that loads every one of them after that, as long as you don't have any malfunctions anyways. 8-round magazine. It only comes with one in the box. It's a little tiny gun. It's going to run you about the $220 to $260 range. It's available in a couple different colors. The older ones that they made many years ago used to have nice wood grips on them. Everything now is just a polymer grip, and that keeps the cost down anyways. It's pretty comfortable. The grip is a good size grip for medium to larger hands. Even I've got pretty big hands, and it fits in there pretty good. I really wouldn't recommend it as a pocket gun. Even though the top part of it's pretty small, that grip is pretty big. And if you've got really small hands, you might actually have a little tough time grabbing that. It's like 1.1 inches wide, but the grip is, it's hand filling anyways. I can almost get 3 fingers on it. The pinky's like halfway on there. But it's not bad. Of course, it's 22, so the recoil is not tremendous anyways. Pretty good little gun. I kind of like it, but you've got to watch the ammo you use in it. No real issues with the Remington Thunderbolts or even the standard velocity federal champions here. No real problems with those. Just the self-defense ammo, the punch, and the silver tip, I would probably stick to maybe 22 revolvers for that. It should do just fine in that. Nobody wants to get hit with any size or any velocity round, and nobody's going to ask you, hey, what velocity are you going to shoot me with? But, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, thanks for watching Small Caliber Arms Review. If you could, hit this button up here to subscribe. Hit this button right here to check out some of my other videos. And if you get a chance, go check out Dustin over at Guns of the West. If you like the cowboy guns, he does a lot of them. Thanks for watching.